Leeds Leeds United have received a colossal injury boost, and I'll be honest, it's one that I didn't see coming in this international break. We know that having the best players around is key to a squad, and let's be honest, when we have injuries, fans are likely to check every little thing that they can, hyper-analysing everything. And I'll be honest, we probably read into things too much. And that might be what I've done today, but we'll find out. But first, just to let you know, I'm incredibly tired. It's currently 8 PM as I'm recording this, the latest that I've recorded a video, and I've only been awake for the last 5 hours because currently my shift timings are ending at 7 in the morning, so I could do with a little bit of slack on this one. If it's not the best video, I'm sorry. It just felt bad not uploading. Anyway, so we need to talk about Pascal Struijk's injury boost because it's a pretty big one. His main issue was he had a double hernia that he was taking a long time to recover from, which is a pretty big problem. Muscular injuries when you're a footballer are the ones that get worse if you continue to play. Effectively, a hernia is when tissue pushes its way through a muscle wall and starts to protrude a little bit. Arlo, my dog, had one when he was like a little baby pup, and it looks really weird, but solved enough with surgery. Not the worst, and it can require surgery. Sometimes you can use a course of injections to fix it, but if it comes to it, you can end up needing a surgery, and this relates directly to Pascal Struijk. So he was going through an injection surgery, and I'll get into that in a little bit more detail later, but we need to talk first about how hernia surgery and how hernia surgery recovery works. I've Googled the hell out of this one recently because for a while I sort of suspected myself of having one because I was like matching most of the symptoms. I don't think that was the case, but we'll find out. But first, you are initially prevented from doing any real exercise for the first couple of weeks. This includes excessive walking. It's that bad because if you do too much movement with the area that's affected, which typically tends to be sort of like groin area, sometimes your back, sometimes your torso, then you can overwork those muscles again. You can work them a bit too hard and you'll have more problems. After that, you're not allowed to do strenuous exercise for 4 to 6 weeks. So this is the point at which you're not allowed to go jogging or running or, for example, playing football, which makes it basically very bad for a player. If you're going for hernia surgery as a footballer, it tends to be a last resort. It's not something that you will just do because you know it might end your season if the recovery doesn't go as you've expected. However, with Struijk, the injection surgery didn't work as expected either. It's especially bad if it's late in a season as well, because that means that effectively, if you're having a hernia surgery right now, with 10 games to go, it's a 6-week injury. Who knows how much of a problem it could be. Anyway, back to Pascal Struijk. He basically had a choice earlier on with this injury, and that was the injection therapy or the surgery. Elected for the injection therapy, and then in his most recent press conference before the international break, Daniel Farke basically said that the injection therapy hadn't worked as expected, and the choice was either he gets fit in the international break or he has the surgery, which a bit of a season ender, but if you're not fit until after this final international break anyway, let's be honest, your season was probably over anyway. We're halfway through the break. So you can sort of imagine that they will have made that call by now, and this is where we get into potential clownery territory. We get into reading into things a little bit too much. Who knows? Maybe not a little bit too much. Maybe we're having the perfect read on this. But Pascal Struijk has been spotted in Paris, tweeted it out, bunch of pictures. Looks like he had a fantastic time at Disneyland, and the Leeds United Twitter account have also reposted it. And for me, that's telling of a couple of things. First off, that a surgery evidently hasn't happened yet. So this says, at the very least, he's fit enough to be in consideration for those matches after the international break because he's at the very least in a position where he could work his way back into the side. If it was a complete no, it's not going to happen, surely you would get that surgery done as soon as possible. And when you consider out where he is, he's in both central Paris and Disneyland. Those are both walking intensive places. Traffic in Paris, horrific. Disneyland, very on foot, which tells me that no surgery yet. And I feel like if you're about to have a hernia surgery, you don't go walking anyway. You sort of save yourself. You make sure that you're feeling okay. So ultimately, I think this is all generally a very, very positive sign for Pascal Struijk. But what happens if he is back? First off, I'm not entirely sure that he starts. I looked at the defensive stats for Leeds United so far in 2024 this year. We've only conceded 3 times. None of them have been from open play. We've only conceded 30 shots on target, and the amount of sort of effective, efficient defending that we do is absolutely incredible because Ampadu and Rodon is a spectacular pairing. I don't think it would be fair if Struijk were to recover to say, well, okay, Ampadu, you're dropped because we need Pascal Struijk back in the side. And at the same time, if you were to push Ampadu up the pitch, it wouldn't be fair to say, all right, Ilya Gruev, you're dropped. Because Gruev has also been absolutely incredible in the second half of the season. He's gone from the player that we bring on to get booked late into a match to someone that is consistently putting in good performances every single week. I think Struijk would have a lot to do to earn his way back into the side, and it might even come down to someone needs to get injured somewhere and then Struijk pops in. But at the very least, he is spectacular depth to have in this team. At the moment, if we lose Ampadu, we've got Liam Cooper there. And Liam Cooper isn't the worst by any stretch of the imagination. But Pascal Struijk is a more comfortable, better defender that's happy with the ball at his feet, which is just good to have, especially in the Daniel Farke system, which relies so much on, okay, so we'll recycle possession. We'll go out to the left, try and forge a chance. If we don't, put it back, recycle possession again, over to the right, and you just keep doing that for 90 minutes to try and make sure you got an opportunity. And with Struijk being more comfortable with the ball at his feet, I think he's the much better depth option for that left centre-back role than Liam Cooper. In addition to that, I think we do have the big question of, does this all mean anything in the first place? At the end of the day, it's a Twitter post with a bunch of pictures of Pascal Struijk being in Paris. Although everything that I've said has been sort of like trying to read into things and work out what's going on, there's no guarantee that it's true. The only point at which we will know whether or not Pascal Struijk is fit and healthy or not fit and healthy is going to be in Daniel Farke's first press conference after the international break ahead of Watford. At that press conference, we will also discover if we are likely to have Junior Firpo back from the Dominican Republic in time. We'll find out if we've got any injuries from the Wales lads, from Cooper playing for Scotland, for Archie Gray, who's not only debuted for England's under-21s, but he scored a goal, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'll be honest, being 8 p.m, I just sort of wanted to get a video out, and I saw this, and I was like, you know what? That could be a quite interesting topic. But ultimately, I want to know what you think. Do we think Pascal Struijk will be back before the end of the season? Will he get any more minutes? I think that's a really good open question. Are you too bothered? I think I'm quite happy with the squad where it is. It'd be nice to have Pascal Struijk, but it's not a must. And just let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't yet. That's always massively appreciated. And I will see you later. I can't believe it's now 8:20 in the evening and my work shift starts in 5 hours. What am I going to do? I don't have anything to do for that time. Can't go to the shops. They're all shut. I'm lost.